Today is the day. This thing is getting the new turbo. Well, a little bit more than that. So in this video, what we are going to be doing is stripping the Calypso of its existing intercooler piping and turbo, and then taking it to my buddy who is going to fabricate the new piping for the new turbo. So we're going to fit the turbo right now, pull off the old piping, probably pull off the intercooler, mock this up, see how the downpipe fits, see what needs to be adapted, and then we're going to throw this on the trailer, bring it to him. And now I don't know if I'll be there with him to do any of this fabrication work, so I might just have to show you guys the finished product, but maybe I will stop by and see what's going on, and I'll have updates for you guys. So I'm not sure right now, but Calypso is getting a facelift finally, because as you guys know, I can't stand this bucktooth intercooler piping in the front. It's hideous. I want to run a stock front bumper again. So yeah, let's go ahead and open this hood, take this bumper off, and start disassembling. In case you guys forgot what I'm talking about this. Disgusting. From a distance, this lip looks cool. The Alpina lip undeniably looks great on this car, but it's butchered to fit the piping. The intercooler's uneven. The previous fabricator I basically just hired to do this, to get it running and driving, and I didn't care about cosmetics because it was right after this car was in a totaled accident. So I didn't know that it would ever have bumpers again. I thought it was just gonna be a monstrosity of a car. It ended up, coming out pretty nicely. So I was kind of annoyed to find that the way this was just fabricated is not, the pipes are very uneven. The blow-off valve is in the bumper area, which is kind of stupid. So this is all gonna be redone. That intercooler is gonna be tucked away, so you probably won't be able to see it, and I can run a stock front bumper again. So the thing about this E34 is, since I have no AC, I have a ton of room under this core support, which is pretty much the ideal intercooler piping spot, but I was gonna have to trim some of this core support. So I'm guessing that's where we'll probably decide to put it, and then we could just route the piping right through there. Hopefully that works with the headlights and stuff. But yeah, so I say let's start off by pulling this turbo off and go on from there. Kind of a sad day, because basically as of right now, this car will not be drivable anymore, and the last time I drove this, which was whenever it was, will be the last time I drove this car with this existing setup, because once this is on, I'm gonna need a retune, more power, should be more fun. But still, this car's been reliable for 2 years, so to change that setup kind of is scary but exciting. So quite some time since I've taken this turbo off, so I'm gonna try to remember how to do everything. So to start, we gotta get the turbo blanket off. Okay, there's our old turbo blanket. I don't know if this will be reused or not. Now we have access to our exhaust housing and all of our bolts on that. But first, I think I'll take off the filter, undo the wastegate, undo the intercooler side, and then I gotta do the oil feeds. Man, this turbo, eBay cartridge, it is nice. No play. This thing's been treating this car very well, this turbo. Boost fitting can come off. It is a little leaky though, so I think it was about time. So the drain's kind of a pain in the ass. It's a bunch of Allen bolts, or not a bunch, it's 2 that I gotta do from the bottom. Oh yeah, the O-ring on this drain is fried. This thing was leaking pretty bad. That's why my car had it didn't have an oil leak, but like the drain would be all wet all the time. So yeah, that O-ring is shot. Now for the feed. Okay, so there's our wastegate. There's our wastegate clamp that holds the dump to the gate itself. V-bands are the best because it's super easy to undo them. It takes no time at all. Here. Oh, so this is how I do this bottom one. I start it with a box wrench from this awkward angle. Boom. There's our whole set. off. So here's our precision versus our whole set. I think a whole set H635 is like a 62 mil or 61 mil. I think this is, well, this is a 62 mil, 62, 62. So it definitely looks bigger, but exhaust housing wise, this is a .68 AR. And what is this? I don't even remember. Does it even tell us? It doesn't. So I don't know what the AR is on this, but it looks, actually it doesn't look that much smaller. Let's go ahead and test fit this on the car and see what it looks like. Moment of truth. My studs don't line up great. There we go, a little hammering, got it. Let's see how close my downpipe is to mating up properly. Oh, it's so close. Dang. It almost doesn't even need to be modified. It might not need to be modified. This might damn near work. Except I have a male flange on this turbo, and I don't even know what's on the downpipe. It's like half male, half female. Literally, because like part of it's sticking out, part of it's flat. So weird. But honestly, it looks as if though all we're gonna need to do is weld on a new flange on the downpipe, and I think everything else that's existing will work. So I currently have the turbo apart because I'm reclocking it, because you want the drain and the feed to be basically 180 degrees perpendicular with the ground. You can't have them more than 15 degrees tilted, or else the oil will pool up in the turbo and you blow out your seals. So I'm basically just fitting it here how I want it to go, and it looks like that'll be good about there. And there is our ugly intercooler piping. Our front end is officially pretty much torn apart. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Whole mess. Off she goes for a new turbo and stealthy intercooler piping to run a stock bumper. I'm so excited. Check this beauty out. So you can see right off the bat, aside from my headlight hanging, the intercooler is now tucked away up in the support here, so you can't even, it's right where basically the AC condenser would be, exactly where I wanted it. So let's open up the hood and let's check out this fab work. Let's see what we got done here. I'm so excited about the intercooler location that I forget to even mention the new turbo is fitted on here. So here's our new hot side intercooler piping. The intercooler just so happens to come out right where it needed to. So this is the perfect size intercooler for this car. Flipped it upside down and had to trim the core support a little bit. So there it is right there. Comes out to a 90 right here with a 90 boot into the turbine housing. Downpipe had to be adapted a little bit. We had to do a new V-band because this one had a goofy V-band on it, and as did my downpipe. So fresh V-band there, had to be modified a little bit, which is a pain in the ass because that wastegate dump doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room. I have to plumb up the drain and the the feed right now. I got to bolt down the turbo. To do that though, I got to pull this off the exhaust housing. So when I do that, I will bolt down the turbo for the final time. But so this is what the hot side looks like, nice and short. And then coming over here to the cold side, it used to come out through that hole, and I mean you guys remember it, it was minutes ago in this video, and it just came all the way down. It was just absolutely hideous. And now my cold side comes right down from the intake into a, let me get this catch can out of the way, into a vibrant 90, and then right into the intercooler right there. Blow-off valve is now located in the engine bay, which is what I wanted. I was sick of it being out the front bumper because nothing's uglier than a pink blow-off valve hanging out of a red bumper. So I told him to relocate it here. So this all had to be reworked. But I mean, you guys see it, man. This piping is short, tight, to the point. And the best part is that I can throw a stock bumper on. If you guys don't know, there is no more power steering cooler. So as you guys know, the power steering cooler of these cars are like those things that look kind of like oven grates or whatever. Oven, like convection oven coils, which is supposedly the power steering cooler. I don't know how well of a job it does at cooling. But that had to go because the intercooler's in the way now. So the lines are looped right there. We'll see if I decide to, you know, fix that, change that or whatever. This car doesn't drift. I don't, you know, I'm always doing straight line things. I really don't think I'm gonna have an issue with power steering fluid getting too hot. I never hear people overheating these that don't drift. So we'll run that like it is for now, and then if, you know, later down the road I see it fit, we can throw a new power steering cooler in. But all of this took top priority as opposed to the power steering cooler. So I am so stoked about this. Shout out to Jake Deckinga, fabbed all this up for me. Did a great job and super fast. He had this car for like 4 days, like, which is insane for fab work. I know working with the existing fabricators' work was really rough. That guy did not give much of a, you know, opportunity to fix things. So that piping did me good for a couple years, but I was just sick of how ugly it looks. So now let's fit back up the front end, and then let's plumb up the turbo, and we can fire this thing up, make sure everything's all good. And I might go for a couple little drives here and there. I don't want to beat on it though. And then next week we are actually getting a dyno tune before I leave for Cali. So should have this thing up on the dyno next week and see what kind of numbers we can put down with this new Precision. Very stoked. Now I'm putting in my feed. I had to get a Vibrant 1/8 inch, which is the precision fitting, to -4, which AN, which is my feed. So this comes with multiple restrictor sizes on it, but I'm not going to put any restrictor in yet. So if I'm on the dyno, it starts to smoke, then I'll add one. But I don't want to starve the turbo of oil. So I just got to twist this in, and then we're actually ready to fire this thing up, which is pretty exciting. All right, it's go time. This is very nerve-wracking. Let's see what happens. Do we have any leaks? I don't think we have any exhaust leaks. The feed's dry, the drain is dry. I think we're good. So now let's put it on the front end. I'm gonna let this run for a little bit. Then I guess let's go take it for a drive and see if it'll hit boost. It's not retuned, so I don't want to blow anything up, so we're gonna take it easy, but go time. Stock front bumper for the first time in 2.5 years. Yeah, look at that. Now this thing's a full sleeper. No signs of intercooler or turbo, just noise. So I'm gonna fasten everything up really quick and put the trim on, and then we'll get our first legit look. And there we have it. A stock front end. Once again, it fits perfect, looks perfect. I forgot what this car looks like with a stock front bumper. I am so freaking excited right now, you guys have no idea. This has been the favorite thing I've done with this car in 3 years. Could not be more excited about this. So I say let's go ahead and go for a quick little drive and see if it makes any cool noises, see how different it drives. I'm gonna take it easy, like I said, don't wanna blow it up. I gotta watch my AFRs and stuff, but we'll just go for a little bit of a spin. My GoPro's broken right now, I'm waiting to get another one, so I'll have to bring this and just kinda like try to film decently. So let's go ahead and go for a ride. So far, not all that different. So let's hit a little bit of boost here, see when it spools. Whoa, it makes a totally different noise. Oh, it sounds so tiny. The way the blow-off valve sounds is so like, I don't know if you guys hear that, it sounds kind of weak. I know the tune is gonna matter a lot with this, but as of right now, like stepping on it, I guess the spool's a little bit sooner, but actually not that much, not really any sooner than I thought, which I guess is because, which I heard from a few people, like Precision's gonna be a much more efficient turbo, so I'll make better power with less boost and stuff like that. But in terms of like size wise, it is a 62 mil. The whole set I think is a 61, so it's actually a bigger turbo, smaller AR, you know, hot turbine housing, which will help a little bit. But yeah, so it might not be all that different. Let's do a little boost right now. Went pretty rich. I'm just making sure I don't go out, I don't go lean, but otherwise, like, it sounds so much different. Honestly, that's about all I'm gonna give it right now. I don't wanna risk anything, so I'll probably call it and head home. Everything works. I'm gonna go and stop and make sure that I don't have any leaks coming from any of my, you know, drain or feed. But so far, it sounds like it's gonna sound pretty cool. Drivability wise, it honestly feels pretty similar. So I'm really interested to see when it's tuned, how things go. So I will see you guys when we get back to the house. All right, well, aside from losing my fog light lens, as you can see, first drive, lost my fog light lens. That's insane. But otherwise, I am very happy with this car, very stoked. Turbo drain leaks horribly. I gotta get a new AN fitting. It's all messed up. I had to really rig it back in the day to get it to fit with the old turbo. I have a little bit more room now, so I think it'll be all right with the new one. Gotta get a new fog light on there, or I might just do deletes, but those things aren't important. What's important is the car drives pretty good, the turbo functions well. In that little clip I did of that pull, we ended up hitting 26 PSI, and that was like half a throttle. So this turbo is way more efficient than the prior one, and luckily I didn't go too hard because we would have probably just blown my engine up, because 25 is my max peak with the other turbo, whereas I hit that at like half throttle, so way more efficient. So when this car is tuned, it will be a lot of fun. So dyno day should be next week. I got to do a few things to get ready, nothing really too exciting, just fix that drain, so not really worth filming or anything. But yeah, I can't thank Jake enough, because I have not been this happy with this car since probably when I first got it. Like literally, I hated that front end. You guys remember what it looked like. I'll flash another horrendous picture. It feels like I have my car back. Honestly, it was embarrassing to drive before. The piping was horrendous, uneven, different welds on it. It was just horrible. Hung way too low to the ground, so the car, it would rub on everything. So stock front end, I'm very happy. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you guys think about my fresh stock front end now. Now it's time for me to get back to the blue car and get that done.